Hello and welcome to this week's Query of the Week. Similar to every other week where we deal with queries in the context of AML, financial reporting, company law and tax, this week's Query of the Week is in relation to ethics. Every accountant in public practice is required to comply with their governing institute's code of ethics. That code of ethics is derived from the IESBA's Code of Ethics. That's the international body. And guess what? For the current year, as effective from July of 2019, this is a new IESBA Code of Ethics. Subsequently, CPA, ACCA, and currently Chartered are overlaying this revised Code of Ethics into their new Institute Code of Ethics. So this week's Query of the Week will take account of what is the new governing Code of Ethics and how it's going to be applied in practice. The query is in relation to audits, I accept. Not every accountant in public practice will be an auditor. However, a vast majority of you are. And leaving aside that, our upcoming webinar will be dealing with ethics for all practitioners as well as those specifically required from auditors. Now, this week's Query of the Week is in the context of an employee who is a director of an audit client. The question arose through a file review that I was performing, whereby it was identified that here was an employee of the audit firm was acting as a director, as effectively an Irish nominee director for a company which was beneficially owned by a foreign parent, which in turn invested in another foreign associate undertaking and a foreign subsidiary. So it was an intermediary vehicle purely from an investment point of view here in Ireland. The director was effectively the Irish resident director, but was an employee of the audit firm. Now, if we look here at our new Code of Ethics, it specifically states that serving as a director of an audit client creates a self-review and self-interest threat. In addition, what is requirements which are mandatory, indicated by R here, stipulates service as a director or officer. I would like to point out a director is an officer, an appointed secretary is an officer, and effectively auditors are deemed to be an officer in accordance with Irish company law. A partner or employee of the firm or network firm shall not serve as a director or officer of an audit client of the firm. So you're going to say to me, but I'm an auditor. We do basic secretarial work for our clients. We do CRO filings, we do meeting minutes, etc. Appointments of directors, resignations of directors, etc. The reality is these are basic forms of secretarial services, and the Code of Ethics does facilitate you as an auditor facilitating this type of work. However, more complex secretarial work, let's say share restructurings, advisory that way, would effectively create a threat which might not be deemed to be a self-interest threat and a self-review through the work that you do as secretarial in the basis of the work that you're going to be performing on the audit engagement. What the standard says here, again, a regulation or requirement of the Code of Ethics, a partner or employee of the firm or a network firm shall not serve as a company secretary for an audit client of the firm unless it is specifically permitted under local law and professional rules of practice. This is the overarching Code of Ethics. You do need to consider, does the IASA ethical standard for auditors applies, or is there anything prohibiting it? There isn't. Management makes all relevant decisions. This is key. So effectively, We're only doing basic CRO filings, meeting minutes, all decision making is ultimately done by the board of directors. And we're basically saying the duties and activities performed are limited to those of a routine and administrative nature, such as preparing minutes and maintaining statutory returns. So, me as an auditor, I can do basic secretarial work for my audit client. However, as stipulated and indicated above, my employee, if they're a director of a company, and I'd like to point out if it's for a period from the 1st of January 18 to 31 December 18, and we're only signing the audit engagement now, basically for the last 21 months, if they were a director at any point, we cannot do that audit engagement, and I, as the audit RI or partner signing that auditor's report, cannot sign off on it. It is a breach of the code of ethics, and there is the potential it would instigate disciplinary situations. I'd like to thank you for joining me here in Query of the Week. I'm Neil Dorn of OmniPro Practice Support, and I would encourage you, if this is helpful to you, come learn more about what are your ethical obligations, both as a public accountant in public practice and also you maybe as an auditor or a general accountant working in industry as well in our upcoming Ethics for Accountants webinar. Thank you.